Okay. Hello, everyone. We've done 4 of the announcements.
Welcome to tonight's call.
Just read them. If you haven't, Rebecca's going to finish off the last one or two.
Brilliant. Thank you, Nathan. That's my technical guy.
Oh, so good at it.
So good at pressing that record button. It's amazing. So convention, 18th and 19th of May. Continue to Edge calls, second Wednesday of the month. Ems and I did our first one for this year last week because we were away for the second Wednesday. And next month it is going to be slightly different as well because the second Wednesday falls in half term when we're both away, so that wasn't going to happen. So we have had to change it for February as well. But from then onwards, it will be the second Wednesday of the month. So something else for your diary.
What's the team call now?
Yeah.
Oh, my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so we wanted to just do like an overall strategic plan for you for the year. So for everyone, okay. So we're just going to go through what we do and what we suggest that you do. If any of you have seen or heard of Stephen R. Covey, he does a great training on. You've got a bottle, and when you're filling your time, you put in the big rocks first, and then you put in the little pebbles, and then you put in the sand. So I just wanted to talk to you, and it's all of them are important, but I just wanted to talk to you about what are the big rocks and what are the little rocks and what's the sand. The really important things for you to be able to rank and for the things that you need to attend this year, okay? So the first thing for planning your calendar.
Sorry, is that being your...
Yeah, it is, yeah. Let's look at the end. That'd be great. So the first things to put in your calendar. So when we're booking our calendar, the very first things are corporate events. They're things that we don't have any control over when they are. So the first things you're doing when booking your calendar for this year, we're talking the whole year, the best thing to do all the way up to December is look at all the corporate events and put them in your calendar. So we've got leadership, we've got convention, we've got the spring tours. There's loads of them. If you're not sure that they all are, most of them are on the Facebook page, or they'll get added to the Facebook page in our events section.
In fact, we didn't mention the dates of the spring tour coming up, but yeah, you can have a look on the Facebook. But the one in Milton Keynes, which is going to be right next to where the new corporate building is for Europe, the headquarters, which might be quite a nice one to go to because what they're going to probably do is put on tours. In fact, have they advertised that yet?
They have advertised.
About that. Perfect.
Yes,
yes, there's going to be tours the day before that you can actually go and look around the building if you want to, just to see what's there. And then the next day they're going to have the whole day event in Milton Keynes, where they'll have an oils morning, which you've probably seen. So just in case you haven't, the morning is going to be about essential oils. So bring your customers. Everybody's welcome to that. And in the afternoon, there's going to be like an intro to the business that Ben and Jess, our friends and colleagues, are going to be doing. So like an hour. So again, customers can stay. Anyone that's interested in the business can get just a real basic introduction. And then we're going to be doing a more advanced business training afterwards, how to kind of take your business further. But they're also going to be around the country as well. So you'll see that. There's one in Birmingham in March, and then there's going to be one in Aberdeen. So, this is something to definitely get as many of your people too. And
it's much more of a networking event as well. It's not as polished as the conventions or anything like that, but it's a bit of a talk. And many of you have been to them, but they're well worth going to. Okay, so put those into your calendar when you know the dates. Obviously, there's also boot camp. So if you're part of EU Live a Cause, if you're not, get on EU Live a Cause or ask your upline or whoever it is, because that's the whole of Europe events, and they do boot camps. So EU Live a Cause run boot camps all over Europe for the business, so not just for the oils, and that's great. The last one they did was in Portugal. So the last one they did was in Portugal. And it was really, really good. And they're getting better and better. Yeah. So you can send your team there. You then want to put in upline events. So when you know about our upline events, then put them in. You also want to be putting in, if you've got any downline events, you definitely want to be putting some of them into your calendar so you can make a time to visit them. Team calls. So it's really important that you put team calls into your calendar. We feel team calls are important, not because we're speaking, and it might not be our team call that you're on necessarily. It might be another person's team call, but team calls are important because they keep you connected. Okay.
Keep you focused for the week.
They help you to be with other people and just give you a little bit of inspiration or a little boost. And we do notice that people that attend the team calls regularly, you're not going to make everyone, but people that try and to make the team calls as much as possible, they definitely thrive a lot more. Okay, so the team calls, it doesn't mean you're going to thrive either, but it's definitely a sign and a very big help. Okay, obviously if you're doing a class or something else, but try and schedule it so that you can make the team calls if possible.
Yeah, because again, even if you've heard the same things, people come on who have been coming on to these for ages, and obviously they've heard about sampling and the class, but from those people we always get the same kind of comments that they'll pick up something different each time. So it is really important, and it's important if you're a leader as well for your team to see that you're on them as well. So it's a good for a whole team. Feel. It's
actually very important that you're on there as much as possible as a leader. Then you can see if your actual people are coming on as well. So you can see what they're getting. So, we do sometimes get it where people ask for certain things and they ask for training, but they don't ever attend the team calls. So we just say, well, you need to attend the team calls, and then you'll see the training that's going on, or you'll find places where it's going on. We can't be always giving out individual stuff all the time. It's great if people come on the team calls and get all that every week.
Yeah.
Why? So we do get a question quite a lot. Why do I want to attend the corporate and other events? Do you want to answer that? Do we get those questions quite a lot, don't we?
Yeah, we do. And I think we've covered it kind of, so I won't spend too long on it. But like we said, you always get something out of it. And it's not always about what you learn, but who you meet. Corporate, definitely, just to kind of get to know the people that are running this company. That's important. It gives you confidence. And the bigger picture as well, because this company, when you're doing this yourself, we're kind of on our own a lot of the time, aren't we, with our teams, and it can seem very small. When you go to these events, certainly for the first couple of years for me, it was like, wow, other people are doing this, I'm not on my own. And then hearing corporate speak gives you the confidence and the hope, whatever it is, and then you can see the bigger picture, and it just kind of drives you forwards. So I think it's so important, and without even realizing, sometimes you think you don't need it and you perhaps can't be bothered to go, you have to travel to it. And certainly at the beginning of the business, you don't have tons of money, do you? And transport can be a big issue, just paying to get you there. But I promise you, if you go to these events, your business will benefit from it. It will definitely benefit from it. And if you can fill your car and take some of your team with you, it's such a bonding experience as well. And you always come away inspired and rejuvenated and kind of ready to go. So I really highly recommend. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, well, I used to put the team off. So some of you won't know this, but a lot of some of you will. At the beginning, I used to think that the corporate events had no value because they were fluffy. I wasn't up for the recognition or anything like that. I just thought it was. But I've completely changed my mind. I think that they are great and they're very inspiring. The reason you go, and if you're looking for skills like I was going to for these events, this is what I want to know how to do this business. That is not necessarily, you will get that, but that's not the reason to go. 90% of the reason why you go to these events is about mindset. Okay, it's to help you with the belief that you can do this. And that's what's going to get you through. And then you will get skills there and things like that. But the main reason you go is to help your belief and to help install in you the doTERRA culture, which is an amazing thing, which is continually helping me to grow as well.
And connecting with other people from other teams, we said too, that can kind of help you with the business. It's not just upline, downline, you'll find someone else that you might connect with their style more, and you can kind of, keep each other going that kind of way.
The other thing we hear a lot is, because there are lots of events and you can cram a lot in and stuff like that, especially with all that you have going on. Do I need to attend all of them? Because there seems to be a lot. Well, our answer to that is you don't have to attend them all, but look at it as it is about mindset and helping you with your belief. So if you're a person that is self-motivated, that really has a strong belief, know yourself and know, I probably don't need to go to as many. But remember that your team will be going, and it's a great place to connect with your team, and an easy way of connecting with your team and training for you without you having to do anything. So it is great for that. So we would say, as much as possible, attend as many as you can. But if you can't for whatever reason, then I don't think that's a problem, as long as you know that you've got the right mindset to help you through those months that you don't go to it.
Exactly, definitely. I mean, it's definitely a balance, isn't it? When I first started, I didn't have tons of time to give it. And so obviously I needed to put my time into doing classes as well, and taking a whole day out to do an event could take up a lot of time that was going to help build my business. So it is an it's a totally a balance, and we completely get that. But yeah, if you can, we really strongly recommend it. So definitely putting at least a couple in your diary, but don't stress about it as well. We don't want it to be a stressful thing for you.
Yeah, I wouldn't go say I'm going to these events to learn something new. I generally do, but I don't go to these events to learn something new. I go to these events now to support our team and to help me with my mindset.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered do I need to attend team calls, haven't we?
We have.
So the next thing, so you put your big rocks in first into this jar, your jar of time. Okay, here's a quick view of the calendar. Most of you know all those events, but just the main corporate events. It's all up on our thing, but you want to have it. You can either slow down the recording, pause it later on, or if you want to take a screenshot, I'll just give you a chance to do a screenshot for the first one. And there's the second one. Okay. So the next thing that I want you to do is, so you've got your big rocks in, the things that you cannot change as of right now. Okay, so these are the things, all the things, the events and stuff that you know are going on right now. The next thing I'd like you to do is to now plan your rank for the year. So look at every month and just go, when do I want to be, and your end goal for the year. So what do you want to be by the end goal? And make it realistic, you know.
But dream big too.
Exactly.
So it's in between.
Okay. So, you know, going from elite to presidential diamond in 1 year is very, very possible.
If you're Hayley Hobson.
Well, not just if you're Hayley Hobson. That's
limited.
There's
other ones. There's other ones too out there.
People.
Names we don't know yet.
Yep. But you must have a plan for that. And that's a big plan. Okay. So if you're going for that, then let's have a plan, and maybe you want to give us a call and we'll have a chat about it. But, you know, you want to have a plan. So let's say you want to get your elite and you want to go to gold, okay, by the end of the year. Okay, so you put gold as your end goal by the end of this year. Or it might be September that you want to hit a certain rank. Whenever you want to hit that rank, put that into your diary and then work backwards. Okay. Now, I like to put an OV goal in. OV, we mean overall volume. So that's the whole team together of OV, because that kind of gives you a basic goal, basic numerical goal of where you want to be. It won't necessarily mean, you know, 9,000 is the minimum OV you need for silver. But there's many silvers that have 15,000 because it's not in the right places, because one of their team is just grown really big and is premier already at 7,000. So that's fine, that's brilliant. But to give yourself a OV goal of what you want by that month will really help to steer you in the right direction for that rank. It gives you a bit of a clearer picture of, well, how many enrollments do I have to get? Okay. So, you know, I've just put here random. This is very random. This isn't anything specific, but and it doesn't have to be yours at all. You need to bespoke it to yours, but I would put a rank down, and then I put the OV rank down then next to the month and work back from there. Okay. And
just to say again, like everything, adapt it to you. You know, some people love goal setting. Some people really hate it. Now, if you do hate it, I recommend you having some kind of idea in your head where you're going, because if you don't know where you're going, you're just going to kind of like float around, and you'll be sharing these wonderful oils, but it's not going to be a business so much for you. So if you are intent on making this a business, then you do need to have some kind of structure there. So you don't have to be really goal bound and really, really structured. If that's something you just absolutely do not like and it fills you with dread, because I know there are some of you that are like that. But you do need to have some kind of vision, and you need to have a strategy, basically, is what we're saying. Yes, we're sharing these wonderful oils, but without any kind of strategy and any focus on where you want to be and understanding what that means, like how many legs you need and how much overall volume, like Nathan's saying, then, you're not going to really make very much money with this. And that's okay if that's not your intention. But if that is your intention to share the oils and make some money with this, then it's very important you do have some kind of goal in your mind.
Yes, definitely. I would say that, if you want to be successful in this and make money, the quicker you have a goal to achieve something, the quicker you're going to achieve money.
Yeah.
If you're not so bothered about that, then that is fine. You can do it however you want to do it. But if you really want to make money at this, I would say let's look at what you want to achieve and the fastest you can achieve it. That might be 3 years. That's fine if you can cash flow that out. Brilliant. No problem whatsoever. But if you want to make money this way, you can attribute money. Every rank has in our average earnings, every rank has a monetary value attached to it of what you're earning. So then you can quickly see how much you're going to earn for the year by doing this. Mm-hmm. And then you can see how much you've actually got to play with. So as long as you hit those ranks and you don't spend more than those ranks, you can break even that year. Or you can make some money that year, whatever you want to achieve. Or you might make a loss that year, but you can limit that loss. Okay, so it's just a very easy, quick way of having a target to try and know what you're making money-wise. And there's a lot of ladies on this. It'll be very, very good for your husbands to see that it isn't just, well, I might hit gold in 2 years' time. They'll love to see, I'm going for gold in 1.5 years, or I'm going for gold in 2 years. This is what I'm trying to do to achieve it. Okay. Next one. The next one you put in, so you've got your rank goals. You can then start to plan everything accordingly to your rank goals. The next biggest thing to fill in that you can't change really is you need to plan your finding activities. Now, we've only put a few up here, but there are loads of them. And you need to, one of the reasons why you go to lots of these doTERRA events is because you get inspired with finding activities, what other people are doing. Going to lots of, just doing that finding activities helps you find other finding activities and be inspired to find other things. When we first started, we had like 2 or 3 ideas. Now we have too many we don't know what to do with. Ideas, and lots of them aren't very good. Lots of them have failed spectacularly. But that, in my view, is marketing. You throw 100% out the wall, 90% fail, 10% give you all of your awards. Okay, so expect your marketing or your finding activities, lots of them, to yield nothing or not a lot. Okay, but having said that, I don't think there's been really any finding activities that we've ever done that we haven't got something from. Mm-hmm. At the very worst, we found another finding activity. Okay, so there is always something to be had from doing a finding activity. Some finding activities that are great are like chocolate making classes. Now, I say a chocolate making class, some of you might use a chocolate making class to sign people up. Generally, that might not be the case. Chocolate making classes are generally a very good finding activity because it's a very easy thing to say to your friends, come to a chocolate making class. And in that chocolate making class, you mix a couple of oils in with it. And then at the end of the class or during the class, you let them know you have an essential oil classes. And you can talk a little bit in the class about essential oils for 5 minutes. I would say chocolate making classes are a very good way of finding people. And you can make that anything, a finding activity for anything people are interested in. You could do a class about and put the oils in there somewhere so you can then introduce them to the introduction to essential oils where they can then possibly enroll.
Yeah, so with finding activities, basically you don't want to be arriving at the beginning of the month where you've got a plan to do 3 classes and you have no one to fill them. That's why it's really important, like Nate's saying, so as you look at your goals, at least for the next kind of 4 months, I would say, some people say 3 months, but with finding activities, you want to have a strategy in your head, is where are you going to get those new kind of, if you're going for it, you need about 40 people at least a month that you want to be kind of finding. If you're going a bit slower, then it could be 10 new people a month or 20 new people a month. Looking at your goal, you then make a realistic goal of how many people you want to be finding a month. And then setting in your plan, well, what finding activities do you have? And like for us, for example, we used to look at it and see if we had a fair, we could kind of almost guarantee on finding maybe 10, depending on how many people were going to this fair, 20 people. And then if that wasn't enough to fill the amount of classes we wanted that month, we'd be like, right, well, we need to get 2 people to host classes. Where are we going to get those 2 people to host classes from? And we'd, to get 2 people to host a class, you need to be calling probably at least 10 people, so you need to think, well, where am I going to get at least 10 people to call? So it's kind of breaking everything down and working backwards so you can guarantee you're going to get the amount of enrollments you want that month. So this is the time we're saying to really kind of look ahead, look at your goals, and then, really work out how you're going to reach those goals. And the bottom line does come down to finding. So you might have a few things on the go, like, we put some good ideas here. Social media is fantastic. And we know some of you are just brilliant at that. And so you'll get a lot of contacts on social media, but you don't want to completely rely on that because you can't 100% guarantee it. So you want to have a few backup things as well. Then it just increases your chances.
And then there's some of you that don't use social media at all, so you might want to do a small part of that. So because you want to mix and match, you don't want to be relying on one finding activity.
No.
You want to be doing a whole host of different finding activities. That way, you can teach it to your team. It's very, very duplicable.
And it does seem to be a law of physics, the universe, whatever it is, but massive action leads to results. It's like Nathan was saying, even if these things feel like they're failing, you're not getting tons of results from there. Just go out and do these different things and you'll get something from somewhere else. So finding really is a massive rock in the success of your business. You definitely want to be putting in time. And if you like to really kind of be organized and everything, then I recommend slotting in time slots into your days, into your calendar. Say, right, I'm going to spend these 2 hours a day doing finding activities. And that could be searching for fairs online. It could be, looking for local chocolate classes, going out in the streets and just, starting conversation, going to your local shops in town and seeing if there's any things going on. So time.
We were talking to our upline this week, weren't we?
Yeah.
And she said that when she opened up China, they had somebody in China, a new person, and they ran out of their warm market, they said. And they said to her, there's nobody more I can find. And she said, you live in China.
Shanghai. There's billions of people.
You look out the window and there's 1 billion people. There's 100 people on that street. I know there is. There's 1 billion people in China. You just have not found a way to reach those people. Mm-hmm. You haven't run out of people. So that's the mindset of thinking is you have never run out of people here in the UK. You just haven't found a way to reach them. Mm-hmm. Okay? So you just need to find out a way to reach them.
To brainstorm. So part of planning for the year is brainstorming finding activities and making sure you have enough each month.
How do you reach the people you want to reach? Or the people you don't even know you want to reach? Just reach for some people. Okay? Mm-hmm. And there's loads of ways to do that. And we've just listed a couple here. We won't go on anymore about that.
No.
Then, once you've done your finding activities, you then plan your classes. And this becomes very, very easy because you go, we've got a massive show or we've got 2 little shows. We need to put 4 classes on. Mm-hmm. So then you book aside the time to put those classes on. Then you might go, if the classes are coming up in the next 2 or 3 months, you might need to go find a hall to book it in. And you might need to take a little risk because you have to book the classes, the venues before you know that you're going to find people, but take that punt. Mm-hmm. Okay, it'll be worth it because also then I have got to fill those classes because we need to make our money back and you will fill those classes. Okay, so you plan that in and I would say these classes need to be introduction 2 essential oil classes. Or there could be other classes, but they need to be classes where you enroll in people at. So if you are not enrolling people at a chocolate making class, that counts as a finding activity, not a class. Okay? Which both are great, but you don't want to trick yourself into thinking, I've done a class, okay? Because you haven't enrolled anybody, so it's not a class. Now, sometimes you'll do classes, introductions, and you won't enroll anybody. But what that means is you've got to do another class to enroll people. Otherwise, you're not going to hit your rank goal and everything falls back from there. So sometimes you will have to do that, put another class in. You have anything you want to add on that?
No. Just again, looking at your goals really, and just putting a realistic amount of classes in. So if you are looking to enroll, say, 6 people a month, you need to have at least 10 people coming to a class that month. So generally that's 2 classes a month. So again, if you're not doing events, you've got to call people to host classes, or just get out there and sample. Whatever you need to do, but get those classes booked in.
And then the very important one is, if you've got downline, then speak to your builders and plan time for them. So they might need you to come to a find-in event with them, want to help. It's great if you go and help them with find-in events. That's only going to help you, and they feel loved and appreciated, and you can do training. So plan time for your downline in there. Plan time to have your one-on-one calls with them weekly or monthly, whatever you do, whatever they need. Okay, so plan your time with your downline is really, really important.
If they're your frontline or people that are really going for it on your team, we do suggest you having a weekly call with them, and that can be anything from half an hour. Often half an hour is fine. Sometimes you might need a little bit longer, especially when someone's just started. But definitely, you invest in your downline. Definitely, I really highly recommend that. That's a priority. If you've got someone on your team that really wants to go for it, then that's where your energy should really be for a bit, as well as doing your own finding activities, but really invest in them, make the business about them, and that will only benefit you anyway. So spend time training them and getting them going.
And if anything, you're their emotional support. You're their person that, because it can be lonely, the business on their own, you're the person that is there to just say, hey, you can do this. Or just to point them in direction. Oh, you feeling a bit low about this? Well, did you go to the team call last week? Oh, I think the team call would really help boost you. Or, oh, this event's coming up next week. I'll go to that with you. Let's go to that. And then I can introduce you to Nathan and Rebecca, and you can ask them about their experience. They told me and that really helped me. Or, and those things really help. And if you're like elite to premier, that's really what you want to be doing. Training them in the business when you're not so trained is, you don't want to be too focused on mentoring when you're that young. You really want to be getting your upline to help you with that and doing the basics of the business. Okay. And then when you start hitting silver and gold is when you start doing a bit more mentoring. Okay. And then there's other items you need to make time for. So, and you're not going to be able to specifically know this like all the way now, but you need to be making sure that in your time schedule, you're not booking up too much time. You don't want to be just doing finding activities for the whole month, because you'll waste loads of finding activities if you are not following up, which is the most important thing after finding activity that you can possibly do. And the one thing everyone forgets to do. Okay. Like the money is in the follow-up. Okay. And then making sure you do the wellness consultations. You can be a busy fool enrolling everybody in the world. But if you do not get them onto LRP, you've then got to enroll the world again and again and again and again and again. Do your wellness consultations and get them involved in the oils. It will pay itself dividends for you, and it will make get into Premier, get into Silver so much easier. And then I wanted to ask all of you, what are other items that do you guys all do that to inspire people that they could put into their calendar for this year? Anyone got anything that they want to add?
Let's put our chat up. Upline calls, of course, I'm just going to add one first of all. We said downline calls, but make sure you have an upline call. Sometimes when you're really busy, you can kind of miss that one out, but it's so important that you reach out to your upline, because they can support you, whether it's just emotional or they might be able to take some physical stuff off you as well. Remember, this is a team effort, and that's what's so wonderful is you have got people there that are not only incentivized to help you, but want to help you. This is definitely a team. Let's see what comments. There was a question at the very beginning about the convention, about it being in English. Yes, it is going to be in English, but they will have translators there. So there'll be lots of, every language across Europe will definitely be covered there. So, and it'll be really professional translation. So,
yeah, thank you, Erin. Personal development is a great thing to take time for every day, especially at the beginning. It is extremely important at the beginning to feed yourself and your soul.
Yes, absolutely. And learning about the oils and the business. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to be doing some different strategies. We're just in the process of finishing it. But watch this space. We will be doing strategies for the different ranks. And so we've done kind of an overall summary, but obviously you adjust it to which rank you're trying to hit. So at the beginning, it is all about learning as much as you can, using those oils daily. In fact, using the oils daily is a continual thing, but it's all focused on finding and follow up at the beginning and doing those classes. As you get higher up, it does shift slightly. But yeah, definitely learning, continual learning. It's brilliant. I tried through chatting. Yes, excellent. Yeah, through chatting. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, support. I know a lot of you do have like your own WhatsApp groups, your own Facebook groups, and that's fantastic. That's brilliant. Yeah.
I just want to make a point on that though as well, is that if you put the WhatsApp group and the learning about the oils first or watching the videos, if you put that as one big rock, that will fill all your time.
Suck away your time.
It will fill everything. So the very important thing is to do is, that is important, but that's the sand that comes in. So you put your big rocks in, and then you put your smaller rocks, you put your little pebbles in, and then the sand. And you'll find that the WhatsApp groups, you'll be able to do that, but it's the sand that fits in between everything else. The WhatsApp group can wait a day before you answer a message. And you'll find that the people in the WhatsApp group will actually answer it themselves because you've taken a bit too long, which is great. But if you're always on it every minute, they'll expect you to answer it. Okay, so you want it to be more self-catering, more self-managing, to help you with your time, I promise.
And to do with doing your own website, generally speaking, we recommend not doing that to your diamond. I mean, sometimes I know some of you are really good at websites, so that you can do it really quickly, and that's great. And some of you are leading brand new teams, so that's fabulous. But generally speaking, if your upline does have a website, then don't spend time doing websites. Get out, do those finding activities. It's the money-making activities you really want to focus on. Definitely, so those key activities.
Definitely.
And just something I wanted to say, and you can still continue to make comments, is once you've set this goal, you've got this vision, put it somewhere where you can see, do this year plan, put it up on your wall, your study, whatever. You can keep looking at it, keep checking it, hold yourself accountable, get someone else to hold you accountable as well. But please take the responsibility on yourself, okay? So if everybody views it as this is your responsibility, my responsibility to make my business work, then you will be successful at this. Yes, you have an upline, you have a downline, but take the responsibility on yourself, and then it will happen. Don't wait for others to do it for you.
Yeah, because it doesn't help you to be thinking that, oh, my upline is going to build me, or to think, why are my downline so slow? They can go as fast as they want to. Your upline can do whatever the heck they want. And you can do whatever the heck you want. This is your business. This is my business. This is all of our businesses. So if everybody takes responsibility for it themselves, you're going to get supported by your upline. You're going to get supported by your downline. But no one will get supported in the ways that they all want. It doesn't work like that. So if everyone just takes responsibility that they're going to do this yourself, then you can never be let down, and you will be successful with it.
Absolutely. And the great thing is with the business in doTERRA, anyone you can come. You've got the ingredients, you've just got to keep doing those consistent activities, and you will be successful in it, and you will be making, very good residual income. So again, if you have just started, or if you're at the kind of the lower ranks, the rising ranks, we like to call them, when you're not making tons of money, really do focus on that residual aspect. doTERRA is a company where you're building a proper business. You're going to make incredible money. Just hold in there. And again, so when you're doing your planning, doing your goal setting, do your financial planning as well. Make sure you can fund yourself through those months where you're not going to make tons of money, because it is so worth just hanging on through those bits, reinvesting in your business, and then you're going to get all the benefits, and then it just starts snowballing. So it's just a fantastic business.
So we'll stop the recording now. So bye to everybody that's watching on the recording, and we'll open it up to questions.